Hello, everyone. Good evening or morning, whatever it is for you. I am still inspired from this last weekend, to be honest. So I decided to do a live sharing all the things that I know about sprays. Hello, hello. All right, I'll just give a minute. Hi, Sugar Peeps, Christine, Sheree, I think. Suzanne, Tina, hello. Whimsical Thoughts, hello. Lee, hello. Hello, hello. Hi. um, all right, so Tina's asking about when will the next foundations class be? So mixed media foundations is going to be February 21st. I am so close to being done. I'm very, very close, but it's going to be a good one. If you were in the classes last weekend, then you got a little sneak peek of, not a sneak peek, I showed you the cards. I showed the cards for the class. So it's going to be a good one. Um, all right. Hello, hello. Thank you all for joining. All right. So I think I'm going to just take a sip of water and then we'll get into it. All right. Minnesota. All right. I have a lot of stuff back on this side. Got some boxes, and then this was part of our old couch that my cat loved to um uh I don't know why there's ads coming up. That should not be. All right, I'm just gonna get into it, and then it is what it is. The ad should not be there. So I apologize if they continue. I don't know how to turn them off while I am live. So all right. Hello, welcome. Thank you so much for joining. I truly appreciate it. So I titled this Distress Sprays 101 because we are going to be talking about paper, the different types of sprays, the importance of paper, um, different ways how to use the sprays. I even got the Distress Spray Metallics. There's like 3 of them. They're old. I've never got them before, but I was like, you know what? This was probably a couple months ago. I'm like, I think I'm just gonna grab them. And then when I was pulling some sprays out, I was like, oh yeah, I got these. Let's try these out. I haven't tried them. I think I sprayed one once, but we're going to be talking about let's see, I have all my notes here. Common mistakes, and how to work through a background, like the layering, on which sprays to use first. Um, and yeah, I think it's going to be a good one. I do have a free distress color combo guide. You can grab that in the comment section down below. And I also wanted to mention that real quick. I don't know if I added a link, but the price for the backgrounds reimagined class is still $18 until tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. Pacific time. It's Tuesday, so Wednesday, 10 a.m. Pacific time. Um, and someone, I forget who it said, I've taken many of your classes. This was probably one of the best. So I'm paraphrasing, but it was pretty much that. So I was like, oh, okay. Just to put that out there. Let me show you the stack of cards that I ended up with right here. So this is a stack of cards that I ended up with. If you get if you get the class, then you have access to all of the making of all of it. All right. Now, keep in mind the backgrounds were already done pretty much. So that's why I was able to get through so many. We're not going to be working on the back. We didn't work on the backgrounds in the class. We added a little bit of stamping and stenciling here and there and some splatters, but um, it was not, um, we didn't work on the backgrounds. All right. The other thing is that I wanted to quickly mention, I mentioned the PDF. So link is it down in the description. This weekend is the Stash Summit, and I am teaching. Well, it's a pre-recorded class, but these are my cards. Let me go to both cameras here. So here are my cards. So we made one background and then we put them to two cards, and it's a good one. I use spray stains and oxide, some stamping, some foundry wax, all the things. All right. I think, the link for that is down in the description. I believe there's 30 different speakers and it's free, totally free. So secure your spot, okay? And I am going to jump right in. Let me put this to the side here. So we're going to talk paper first because paper is the number one thing. I'm going to get comfy. Paper is the number one thing that I think frustrates, I don't think people even realize that that's what's so frustrating, why their sprays are not working out. So I have some cheap paper, some cheap cardstock. Okay. And then I have my Strathmore mixed media paper, and then I threw in some watercolor paper as well, just to show you. Okay, and then I'm just gonna use these two real quick. I'm gonna actually add this down because I don't want to have to clean up so much in between. Okay. So I'm going to show you what to look for if you have some paper in your stash and you're like, I don't know if it's going to work. Most likely, if it's really thin, like that cheap stuff you get at Walmart or whatever, it's not going to work. Okay, you need some good mixed media paper, and not all mixed media paper is the same. Not all watercolor paper is the same. Paper matters. I don't know how much I could stress that. Okay, so I am just going to spritz on I think I'll put it this way. I just don't like my handwriting. So then you can see the difference. Okay, so this is the cheap cardstock on the left. The Strathmore is on the right, and you're going to see, I'm just going to spritz it. Okay, and then it is going to soak right in. You get a little movement there because that was wet, but you could see that it soaked right in. Okay, this one, I can hold it. It pretty much sits on top. Okay, I don't know the makeup of the paper, but this one is the 400 series. It is, I have it right next to me. It's vellum surface. Okay, and then it just spritz all this water on here, and look at that flow. So nice, right? So if your sprays are looking like that, test your paper. Test your paper, and you probably have some that might work. Watercolor usually will work. Okay. Just like that. See, it just, obviously watercolor, it's made to hold a lot of water. I personally, I just use too much water, I think sometimes, and because it's textured on the other side, I usually work on the flat surface. It kind of shows up underneath. So I just like the Strathmore mixed media paper. It's never done me wrong. It's always just amazing. Okay. So the paper, again, is the most important. Okay, so if you want to use some craft cardstock, you can't just use like any old craft cardstock. This is distress heavy cardstock. Okay, so we're just going to spray that there, and you're going to see but that is going to hold a lot of water. Okay. And then okay. So you're going to want some thick paper, preferably mixed media paper. All right. So let's try this cheap cardstock again. I'm going to spritz a little bit of water on here, and then I'll show you. By the time I pull it up, it's pretty much soaked right in. The staining right there, okay, that's not it. You're not going to get a good background using this paper, no matter how much you try to layer on top. It is moving. I'm actually surprised. I don't even know what paper this is, to be honest. But you could kind of see the difference here. Okay, so if I add more water here, you're going to get that wicking, and it's just going to move really nicely. Okay. There's no staining underneath. This is all the way through. Let's see. That is not through. And either on this one. So again, paper is everything. So we're going to set these aside. Okay. So if you've been trying to get your sprays to work and they're just soaking right in, then I would definitely switch your paper up. Okay. All right. Now we're going to, I have it all, let's see. Oh, the different types of sprays here. I'm very organized today. Okay. Okay, so there are 4 different types of sprays, and we're going to go over each one. So this is the Strathmore mixed media paper. And well, we'll just start with one. Okay. So I'm going to just zoom in real quick. If you get dizzy, close your eyes. There we go. All right, so the main one is the spray stain. And if you saw the thumbnail, that is my wall behind me. Let's see if I can show it again. So you could see all those sprays behind me. Love them. Okay. So this spray stain, it is transparent. I'll grab my water. Very fluid. You can layer them, mix them together. This one's probably the most commonly used one. And you can add a lot of water and get a lot of variation within that one color. So for instance, if you want a really lighter color, see down here, okay? And then if you want more saturation, you can add more to there, okay? Oh, where's my... I forgot to share my number 1 tip is to use a cookie cooling rack. Okay, and I love using a cookie cooling rack because it lifts up the paper, and then it also helps when you're drying to have the heat go through the paper and help dry the paper a little bit faster. And it also frees up one hand. This is not typically the one that I would use, but I want to show you that after, when it's dry, you're going to get a lot. We can add more water to it. And we'll go over the like layering and all of the sprays combined in just a second. Just want to show you real quick. Let me actually add it to my hand. Okay, and then we'll take this and then splotch up some of that. You could see that. Okay, so that's spray stain. Again, I think the main thing is it's more translucent. It's not opaque like oxide. So you're able to see like stamping underneath and all of the fun things underneath when you are doing like mixed media. Okay, so I set that aside. Next is oxide. Okay, what color did I have here? Well, that's not going to work. Let's try this one. The one thing about oxide is let me grab another one. This one's a good one to show you. The chalkiness, I don't know what to call it, is all at the bottom. So you really need to shake them really good before using them. Okay. All right, and then I wanted to show you that you can use oxides on different paper, like black, craft, that sort of thing, or papers, I should say. And then when you want that oxide effect, you add water to it. Okay, so we're just going to dry this real quick. And I'm doing it really fast. Normally, I'm like a lot slower when it comes to building backgrounds. But Christine's asking, how do you get such small drops to come out? Mine come out in big bursts, no matter how tight I try to hold the spray. So with most of the sprayers, okay, oh, there we go. Most of the sprayers, I try and see if I can just lightly like tap it a little bit, and then some of the like it comes out in splatters or like little dots, like you were saying. But unfortunately, most of them are pretty just you spray it and then you get what you get in big like a big spray, like you were saying. And some of them work really well for little, like the sprayer, for instance. Like you want to get like little tiny droplets. Some of the distress sprays, no matter what type it is, you can do that. But I found that some of them you can't. So it just depends. All right, so we're going to dry this. I should have used the same color so you could see the difference. That's okay. Hi, Jen. How are you? All right, so when we add the water, you could see that the oxide effect is coming. And then on the side here, okay. And then you can continue to add more if you want. And what I like to do is take a paper towel and blotch up some of it. Okay. Okay, we're going to set this aside. We're going to move on to black. So this is black heavy stock. I think I feel a sneeze coming on. I don't want to be in the middle of spritzing and a sneeze and it get everywhere. So, okay, I think that it's gone. All right, so you can see that oxide will show up on black. Okay, I'm gonna flip this over and obviously the stain is not gonna show up on the black. Okay, oxide does. Love that. And then of course it's gonna show up on craft cardstock as well. I meant to just do little parts so I can use the same paper for different things, but obviously that went out the window. All right, let's dry this. This, did I say this is the black heavy stock? I don't even use this paper. I usually only use this paper for alcohol inks, to be honest, because it used to be the black alcohol ink cardstock. And yeah. Ooh, this is actually really cool. Okay, let me show you up close because this is actually really cool. A lot different than white. Hopefully that's showing up. It's a lot more chalky, obviously. Oh, hello. Hello. Come on, come back. Come back. You can do it. There we go. I think it just didn't like the black. Sorry about that. All right, so there is oxide, okay? Now, again, it is, well, we'll talk about the layering process, but you're not going to want to add, like if this were a background, you're not going to get a good effect if you try to layer spray stain on top of this. And again, we'll go over the layering process and the best layering, like the layering basics, I should say. Okay. Now we're going to go into mica stains. Okay. Now I wanted to show you that one of my favorite backgrounds I did with just mica stains. The mica stains are um, they're obviously shimmery, right? But they also have that stain in there. So you get that color and that really pretty shimmer. Not pretty. This is one of the cards that I made on Saturday. I love this, but you could see that beautiful color and all the things. Okay. I could sit there all day and look at that. I love that background. All right. I'm gonna grab a piece of paper. I don't use the mica stains as much. I use them with other things. So normally, but as you can see, they're beautiful on their own. I'm just not a big like shimmery, glittery person. So I don't really use them a lot on their own, but they work pretty the same as the other sprays. So you're going to spray it and then you can, the more water you add, the less shimmery. And then for instance, like this, you could see that a lot of that shimmer pulled up by the paste. That's because I added a lot of water. And then like this matte portion is because, again, I added a lot of water to get there. Okay. Do you have a video doing that mica stain background? That was actually from a class. It was the Basics and Beyond Distress Spray class. I don't remember exactly when it was, but it was a good one. Okay, we're just drying this real quick, and then I'll show you that, in my opinion, so the mica stains, once they're dry, in my opinion, it's going to prove me wrong right now. You can't get as much movement as you can a regular spray stain. Of course, it's proving me wrong. All right, let's see. I'm gonna pick that up. Okay, that shimmer is beautiful. Okay, I'm gonna just dry it a little bit more. Is anybody else getting ads over top of their um the chat? I don't know why that keeps happening. All right, so there's the shimmery. Yeah, see, some of it is just, I think the stain is just stained, and then what's moving is the mica. Yeah, I think I'm right. So once it's dry, that mica wants to move, but that stain does not. From what I'm seeing here. Like, I don't know if you could see that right there. That's all the mica. You get a little movement, but I don't feel like an yes ads, no ads. Oh, when you're not in full screen. Okay. Is it ads like taking you away from the video? Because I don't like that. I don't know why that happened. It should not be happening. Or is it just over top of the chat? Okay. Some say ads, some say no. I think it probably just depends. All right. So there's the mica. All right, so the mica stains, yes, less movement, great for highlights. So again, like this. And then here is another background where I mixed it together. And then you can see that, I'm just gonna move my microphone a little bit closer here. You can see that shimmer in some of those areas, and we're gonna create this background, hopefully if time permits. I've been yapping too much. All right. Okay, not take okay, that's fine. I don't know why it's doing that because I that's how I have it. I have no ads, not no ads in the live. And as a creator, you can do that. I don't know if anybody knows that. You can take away the ads. You want to say manual, just over chat. Okay. It's taking away the chat. That's not good. All right. So so here is the mica stains. Now we're going to move on to the spritz. The more I use these, to be honest, I was not impressed at first. Not because I don't, like, I know the purpose of them, right? Like, I knew that they weren't supposed to be like in your face, like the mica stains or the spray stains or the oxides or anything. But I just didn't, I think it's because I'm not like a shimmer person. So I really didn't feel like I liked them. But the more that I've used them in my backgrounds, and the more I like them. Okay, so I'm gonna take, let's do this background, okay? And if you're not familiar with spritz, it's just mica, or let's see, shimmer. So you're gonna want to shake the bottles, right? And right now this is just oxide. It's wet, so it's a little, that's where that shimmer comes in. And this is weathered wood. Okay. So let's dry this. All right, let's see if I can grab that shimmer there. So there's the shimmer. Okay. So that's all it really is. Now you can do it over top of a craft cardstock. Let's see. I haven't really tested these to their fullest. I'm sure a lot of other people have. Okay, so the color does sort of show because of the mica, right? Really pretty. Okay, now let's see on black. Let's see what it does on black. That's pretty. Sorry for the heat tool. I think it's just part of being a crafter. There's no way around it. All right, now I'm curious about the mica stain. I forgot to say in the beginning that this is kind of like, I did title it Distress Spray 101, but I did have a couple things that I wanted to test. And if you don't know, I kind of go off script a little bit. That's actually really pretty. Because sometimes I just get inspired and creativity takes over and it just is what it is, right? So, wow. Okay. That's interesting. Not interesting. Obviously, it's mica on top of black. It should show up. So that's really pretty, actually. Okay. So let's see. I have my notes right in front of me. Let's see. These spritz finishing touches. So it's, you can use it through a stencil. You can add just little spritz here and there just to add that shimmery goodness. And it, there is, I don't know how many spritz colors there are now, but you can use them over top of the color that you're using. I didn't think of that. Um, but it is what it is. So I think you kind of get the idea here. The brown was crooked broomstick, one of my absolute favorites. All right, now we're going to get into layering a little bit. Okay, so when we are thinking of layering sprays, so the idea here is to, of course, start with the lighter colors first. And we're going to start with the spray stain. So everybody asks, can you mix them? That's one of the most common questions I get. Yes, you can. Wait, let me see here. All right, I have evergreen. I don't know where this color combination came from. One of the like 3 or 4 different color combo guides that I have out there. It's not in the new one, this new one, so I apologize. I do plan to at some point put them all together so that they're just kind of all in one, because they're all pretty amazing color combinations. All right, so we have evergreen bough. Did I not get evergreen bough? Oh, this is evergreen bough. Okay, so rusty hinge, scorched timber. I'm trying to get the ones that I'm not using out of the way. And then, okay, so we are going to combine all of them together right now. So you can just kind of spray them all differently in different areas, but I like to be a little more strategic with my sprays. So again, I'm going to go lightest color first. So I don't know where I can put this without it. I don't think I can put it anywhere. All right, so I'm going to go evergreen bough. Okay, and you see that I'm just kind of in a few different areas. Then I'm going to go in with rusty hinge. Ooh, that one's sideways. Got a little crooked. Let's see if I can fix that. Nope. I don't know what's going on. Oh, okay. Alrighty then. That just stopped working on me. Real life here. Okay. Then with those two colors, I'm just going to add a little bit of water. Grab my little pokey tool. Crack, is that, oh no, rusty hinge. Rusty hinge and crackling campfire do amazing things when you add water to them. All right, I'm going to dry this. So these are just spray stains right now, the rusty hinge and the evergreen bough spray stain. And if you're just joining, make sure to grab that free PDF. It's linked in the pinned comment, and then it also is in the description box. No mica yet. Okay, and I'm trying to be fast. I feel like it takes forever to dry. So I'm just going to take a paper towel and just kind of blot up these areas that just are a lot. I wanted to get through so much in 1 hour. I think I'm not even really halfway through my notes. So we'll see what we get through. All right. I'll stay until I get through, but I don't, my family's trying to be quiet, so I don't want to make them be quiet too long. All right, so the next thing I want to do is kind of analyze the background and say, does it need more water splatters? Does it need more color? I feel like it does need a little bit more rusty hinge. This one broke on me. So we're just going to take the nozzle out. And I'm just going to add some splatters like this. Hi, Arlene. All right, perfect. And I'm just going to add a little bit of water to this. And then I'm going to take some in my hand, some water, and then just kind of, I don't know what technique that is, but it's that one. Flicking the water on there. All right, I'm going to dry this again. The water flick technique, yes. Now, if you've ever watched any of my videos where I actually, can you hear me when I'm talking with this on? I hope so. Maybe I'll get a little closer. So if you've watched any of my videos when I do real background, I take and it a lot of different layers. So this is going to be a fast version. Okay. I am using Bristol. No, I'm sorry. I'm using Strathmore mixed media paper. Okay, I'm going to blot up some of these areas. Okay. Now, again, we're going to kind of analyze and see like what does it need? I feel like it needs a little more movement here. So I'm just going to kind of carefully add some, come on, get on the paper. There we go. Water on there. Okay. And then now I'm going to add the darker color. So my darker color is going to be scorched timber. This is very, very dark. So you really need to be careful how much you add. So I usually just take the nozzle out and then just kind of place it or like splatter it. Oh, hello. And what I'm doing is I am going where the rusty hinge and the evergreen bough meet together. Not in every area, every spot, but in a few areas. So I'm kind of working in threes here if you didn't notice. So I have the rusty hinge in 3, the evergreen bough in 3, and then now the scorched timber. Let's see. Okay, so now I'm just going to add some water here. And this time what I'm going to do is I'm going to tilt it. You just add a little bit more water there. I'm going to tilt it back and forth so that it kind of dilutes a little bit, mixes a little bit with that other color, not too much though. And then I can always blot up if I need to. Okay, and then I love using my fingers. Yes, I have a freebie for almost anything and everything you could think of because I love giving things away. And I think that this information is very valuable and I really want to help people use their supplies and truly help them create with confidence. So there is a PDF out there somewhere. I didn't link all of them, so I apologize, but it's out there with the papers that I like. Black Strathmore. Oh my goodness. Okay. So I'm going to dry this actually. And I think we're good to add the mica stain and then we'll do the oxide. So oxide is going to be last. So up until now, we've just added the spray stains, but we work lightest to darkest, okay? Because the darker obviously is going to cover up and take over. And we don't want it just to be, unless you want it all brown or black or whatever color you're using. Okay, I'm gonna kind of splotch this up a little bit. Whoops. Okay, I need to get comfortable again. All right. So now we have the mica stain. Now you can add this last or right now. You can even add it mixed in. I've done that too. Okay. So I'm just going to add this mica right over the scorched timber because it is brown. Okay. I don't want it too much. This one can overpower, so you don't want to add too much. So I'm just going to spritz a little bit here, just like that. Okay, and then what we're going to do is we're going to add the oxide. So for this one, as you could see, the oxide is mainly in the center. Okay. So Cindy's asking, you mentioned that is not the regular heat tool Wagner 2-speed that you use. Oh, no, sorry. I usually use my Ranger Heat It tool when I'm using sprays. This was out, and honestly, I'm just too lazy, which is pretty sad because it's sitting right next to me, but my plug is all, I don't know. I'm just going with it. This color combo is not in the guide. But if you want to screenshot this, it's in one of the guides. Evergreen bough, rusty hinge, scorched timber, all spray stain, and then antique linen oxide and crooked broomstick mica stain. And then we're gonna put some weathered wood distress spritz over top. Okay. So of course, you want to make sure that you shake, 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 shake. All right, I am going to, because I don't want to mess up too much while I'm live. So I'm going to actually just splatter this on here. I usually spray it, but sometimes depending on the color, and I can't remember if this is one of them, but it kind of goes everywhere. And I don't really want it everywhere. I just mainly want it in the center. All right, so I'm gonna spritz this with a generous amount of water. And you notice I did not dry that mica. So I want that mica and the oxide to kind of mix together. Okay. And I'm being very careful, but I do want the colors to mix together as well. So I'm gonna dry this. Panda, no, it is the mica stained crooked broomstick. Hey, Brennan, how are you? All right, now I'm going to take some water and add some. Oh, thank you, Sherry. Sherry. All right, I'm going to dry it again. I'm going to take some of my, there we go. The download. Is anybody else having issues with the download? It could be your browser or your security things. I know there's some like affiliate links I'm not able to click on because of the firewall my husband has on our network. And then same thing with certain websites and stuff. So it should be fine. But all right, so here is the background. Okay. I probably real scenario, I probably would work this just a little bit more, to be honest. But because of the sake of time, I want to make sure that I um, get through everything that I wanted to. All right, so now we're just going to add a little spritz of the Distress Spritz in Weathered Wood. And I'm trying to think. I think I just want it in a couple areas. I don't want it all over. Okay. Because that's kind of what the spritz is designed for. It's more for like a finishing, like extra little shimmer. um, oh, I thought they were coming in here. All right, I'm gonna dry this. It is not, um, I feel like I do get a little on my finger, but it's not a lot. Like it's not like the alloy alcohol ink. You really have to seal that um to be able to like, for it to be good. Um I don't think so. If you want to use like a spray sealant, possibly, but it's not suggested to use the distress microglaze over top because you'll lose a lot of that shimmer if you use the distress microglaze over it. So, I hope that helps. All right, so there is the background, the layering. So again, when layering, we want to use lightest colors first, and we're going to use spray stains first. And then we can move into the darker colors, spray stain, and then we can go in with the oxide because that is going to just completely cover everything. So you notice how I just did it in the center? If I were to take the oxide and just spray it all over top. So let me just show you on this one. Although I kind of like that one just as is. So I kind of like all of them. Actually, let's do this one, this watercolor one. So it just covers everything, okay? Bye-bye to the blue. Okay, so you're not gonna want to add the oxide last and try and spray it all over the place, right? Oh, thank you, Lee. Appreciate you. All right. Next. Any questions? And I think I can't move forward without adding a little bit more water splatters here. If you've ever taken one of my classes, you know that I probably do, I don't know, like 8 or 9, 10, 12 layers of color and water and drying and color and water and drying. It's definitely a process that you need patience for, but the end result is amazing. All right. Gonna set this aside. And we kind of went over a few of these already, but I'm gonna talk about the different ways you can use sprays because you don't always have to just spray it on, right? Let me see, using sprays, layering, all types. Um, I didn't grab enough paper, but I have some right here. All right, so Of course, we can spray it, right? Then we can remove the nozzle, which I've already done. So let me just, we can spray it. We can remove the nozzle and splatter it on there. We can take a paintbrush. Oh, that's not clean. This is, nope, that's not my clean one either. Where's my clean? There it is. I knew I had it somewhere. Okay, and then we can take a paintbrush and paint with it, right? We can, I'm just going to use what's on my desk here, okay? Where did I put my paper? There it is. We can imagine that I sprayed on here, my mat here, okay? Then we can smush it up. I don't know how well that's going to look because it's a kind of a lot of colors combined, but it's okay. Just giving you the ideas. You run with the more advanced looks. Okay, so we can smush it. And then we can also use it through a stencil. I'm going to actually put this one aside. And then put this here, and I'll just use the same color. And you want to kind of go back a little bit. You don't want to come here, or else it's going to go all underneath there. So you're going to want to spritz from afar. Okay. So just like that. And then you can take what's on here, flip it over. And this is going to be interesting because this is still really wet. And then you can add it straight onto another piece of paper. Interesting. Okay. So those are 5 ways to use sprays. Most of them you probably already knew, but I wanted just to put them in here. Okay. Now, common mistakes. If you have worked with sprays and kind of worked through different obstacles that you've come across with sprays, whether it's paper or whatever it is, let us know. And then maybe it's something new that I'm not going to mention. Um, all right, so the wrong paper we talked about at the beginning. You cannot work with sprays, and this goes for really most mediums in general. Like I wouldn't use alcohol inks on cardstock, right? I'm not going to get the look I want. It has to be synthetic paper. The same thing goes with sprays, and you could tell I'm looking at you because I'm very, very passionate about this. Because so many people are like, "Oh, I'm not getting the look that I want," and then I'm like, "Okay, well, let's first things first. What paper are you using?" Because no matter what you're doing, if you're not using the right paper, it's not going to give you the look that you want. Right? We saw at the beginning that that's not, it just sat right and it soaked through. It's not that pretty, right? um Not like this. Okay, obviously this is a lot more colors, but we want something like this, or even whoops, or even something like this, right? We don't want something like this because this is not going to do anything. Okay, you can't do anything with that. If I were to go in on this one again, because they're water reactive, I'm able to pick up some of that color and continue to work on this background. Okay. Okay. Now, another common mistake is too much water too fast, right? You saw me kind of, so let me grab another paper here. So if you just spritz a little here, okay, and you're working very slowly, right, which is, it's good because can't really take away too much, but you can add more, right? So we're not going to want to add like that. That's way too much, unless that's the look you're going for, right? But if you're wanting to get that nice saturated color with the sprays, then you're going to want to go a little bit easier with the water, right? Um, makes me want to buy sprays. You can make your own sprays, and I have videos for that actually. If you have the distress reinkers for your inks, whether it's oxide or spray stain. I did have something funny happen. I think, I don't know, I might be wrong. It might have just been, I don't know. I think something funny happened with the, um, what's it called? What's that color? Antique linen. I might have added old paper reinker to it and it turned a little green, but I can't remember off the top of my head. And I grabbed it and I was like, oh, this is not, that's not good. But if you use a little bit in, little sprayers like these, then it should be fine. All right. Another common mistake is spraying too close. So if you're like this, all up in that paper, that's not too good. And also, you're not going to get that spray to come out, although I do this trick. Actually, that's right in the center. That's not going to work. Usually, the nozzles are kind of angled. Well, that one's right in the center too. Why do they change stuff on me? That is not, yeah, this one's on the side, so this one will work. Okay, so you're gonna, if your nozzle, the long part is angled, you're gonna wanna move your spray nozzle to match up where the end is, okay? Because then it will end up spraying out. This, for some reason, I don't know why they change things. Anyways, so spraying too close, right? So that's not gonna get you, I can't even do it with that one. I mean, it works, but you get a lot of overspray. You might not be able to see, but yeah. Okay. And then, oh, another common mistake is not shaking the oxides, the spritz, and the mica stains. Okay. I've already shaken these, but if you don't shake them, then you could just get color. This one, you're not going to get that really good oxide effect. And this one, you're probably just going to get water because it's just mica and water, I think, or whatever. I'm guessing it's water. I don't know. All right. And then layering too quickly. So you don't want to continue to add colors on top of colors. Oh, no. Why? Nothing is working. Why? The joys of lives. My lives never go smooth. As much as I prepare, it just is real life. It is what it is. Okay. Then I'm going to add a red here. Okay, look, it just mixed all together. I didn't even have to do anything else. So if you're layering too quickly, you're adding too much in one area, then that's a common mistake as well. Life goes smooth. Yeah, definitely not mine. I mean, come on, why would it? I've only been doing this over 15 years. Why? Okay. Then, okay, so I am gonna move on. All right. And we're going to work on we're going to work with just oxides, okay? Because I made the mistake and I didn't even, this last weekend was amazing, but I broke some of my own rules and I used a background that I absolutely loved, okay? And I love the card. However, I loved the background as it was more. And if you attended the class, you're not gonna be surprised which background it was. Okay, because I talked and said it probably 1,000 times that I love this background so much. Oh, I love this background. Oh, it looks so good. Oh, look at it, look at it, look at it. It's this one. It's not that I ruined it, but I did talk about in the class that if you have a background that you absolutely love and you're just like, I don't want to ruin it, I don't want to do anything with it, then frame it or just don't do anything with it. Like, there's no rule saying that you have to make a card with a background, right? So I am having a little bit of regret that I turned this one into a card. So we're going to try to recreate it. Okay. This color combination is in the new color combo guide. So, yeah, it's a fun one. All right, we have, it is a beautiful card. Okay, I'm not going to say it's not. I'm going to grab the color combo and a drink of water. All right. And if your hands don't look like this after you're done creating, have you even created? Did you even craft if your hands aren't messy or your desk isn't messy? I don't think so. What was I looking for? So this is the guide, okay? And oh, you actually have the perfect paper in there. And then, all right, so we have crackling campfire oxide. Then we have spiced. I want to just get all of the ones that aren't. Get out, get out, get out. We don't want you anymore. There we go. I'm putting them off of my mat so I don't accidentally grab them. All right, then we have squeezed lemonade. I was surprised that I used that one. Evergreen bough oxide and uncharted mariner oxide. All righty. Wait, did I say spice? Yeah, spice marmalade. Okay. Trying to find a place. I did not even clean up from class on this last weekend. So I just kind of shoved everything to the side. Sorry. The squeaky. All right, I just want to make sure that I'm in frame. All right, we are going to shake these up. But I'm gonna cover these because some of them can splat everywhere and I don't want that. Okay. All right. All right, I think that's good. I don't remember how I did this. Okay. So I used very little spice, or what is this one? Squeezed lemonade up here. And then we have the spiced marmalade, I'm guessing, like here. And then the crackling campfire here. And then the uncharted mariner here, right? And then this is a good example, actually, of I talk a lot about in general, the 80% rule, whether it's working on a background or I talked about it when you're creating a card. Stop when you like it at least 80% of the way. Up here, I didn't really like that. But as you can see, all the rest is just amazing. I mean, it's still good, but it just wasn't, it didn't have all of that goodness. And my fingernails, they're all blue. It just didn't have all of that goodness like everywhere else did, right? But I'm not going to stress about that because all the rest of the background is amazing. So for me, it was 80%. Okay, so we are going to stick with the lightest colors first. Okay. If you're just joining, don't forget to download that PDF. It's linked in the pinned comment as well as in the description box. Okay. Okay, So I'm gonna spritz there and then maybe a little there. Okay. Then we're gonna add the spiced marmalade. Let's see. I really want to try to mimic this as best that I can because I love it so much. All right. Then we're gonna go in with the crackling campfire. And then before we add the blue, I'm gonna kind of mix it all together. And then down here. I think I need, okay. Now we're gonna add some water, of course, get those colors introduced to each other. And I am gonna take a paper towel and carefully blot up some of this orange right here because that's where I want the blue. And then same thing up here. Okay, so I'm gonna dry this. Okay, and I normally don't just use oxides on their own, but I'm expanding because I really want to get the most out of my stash, and they're just sitting there. Like squeezed lemonade, I would have never used that before, but I wanted a new color combination with brand new colors, and um, so I picked some colors that I normally wouldn't use, and I think it worked out well. And especially the oxides. Like oxides, I find are just sometimes hard to use because when I want a background, I want it to be really vibrant and like saturated in color. Not that these aren't, but they're just chalky. Like I don't know. It's not what I usually go for when I'm wanting a background. All right. I was gonna say something. Oh, real quick. So I wanted to show you. Oh yeah. So my spray stains back there when I don't know if anybody follows me on Instagram, but I had shared a while ago that I was putting the new labels for the um Ranger has new labels. I don't even have any, of course. But I put them on my shelves so I know exactly where to put them when I put them back. So when I was grabbing colors, I was like, I don't want to grab too many. And then I pull one out. I was like, oh yeah, I forgot I put the color there. So I remember exactly where it goes. And I just started pulling all the colors out. So if you need a little organization tip, there's one for you for your sprays. All right. Okay, now I'm gonna add the blue. I don't know. Unfortunately, I don't know why it didn't work. Should work. All right, where's my okay, so I have what I'm gonna do here is I'm gonna take paper towel and I'm just gonna cover loosely the area that I don't want the blue in. Okay. Doesn't have to be perfect. Just like that. Okay. And I'm gonna add it there. Okay. And then I'm gonna add it down here. Okay, I don't know if that's gonna work. I'll just hold it like this. Okay. My in frame. Sorry. Okay. I'm going to add quite a bit down here. Okay, just like that. Perfect. Okay, then I'm going to add a little bit more squeezed. Did I use? Was there evergreen bough on here? Is that a color on here? Oh, it was. Where was that one? I don't know where that one is. It's kind of like the squeezed lemonade. It's just barely there, but it's there. Okay, so I'm going to add it right here. Just there. And then maybe a little there. I always say, like, I'm not going to be able to get it perfect, but let's see. I don't know. This one's, oh, my AirPod's coming out. Okay. I'm going to use a little bit more spiced marmalade up here. And then right there. And then some crackling campfire here and here. Okay. Now we're going to add some water. I'm regretting my decisions here. All right, let's see how that kind of pans out here. I still think that squeezed lemonade is still too bright, but I think I can tone it back with some water. Now, my biggest tip that I can give you while I'm drying this is if you have the supplies and you're not sure how to just get them out and play with them. Like, just do all sorts of techniques with them. Yeah, so I think a lot of people just don't give themselves permission to just play. So I have thrown away many backgrounds because they just turn into a muddy mess because I just am playing, right? And that's okay. All right. So I am going to add some splatters here. And then this is when the magic happens. Okay. We're going to start to see. Oh, hello. I think I got it all over my face. See, I knew that was going to happen. Good thing I don't go anywhere. All right. I'm going to add some splatters here with the crackling campfire. I'm just going to, because I need a little bit more there. And then we're going to go in here a little bit. I'm just going to spritz that just like that. Now it did not turn it out like I wanted it, but that's okay. Another tip I have is to rotate your background so you could see it at a different angle and you get a different perspective, because that's always important. Perspective is important. because you could not be loving it from this angle, like when you're looking, and then you turn it and you're like, oh, I actually like it, or vice versa. And then also when you're adding the water splatters, you get it from a different angle too. So like I wasn't really getting it on that squeezed, what is that called? Squeezed lemonade. So now I am because I turned my paper. While I'm playing with this background, does anybody have any questions? Good night, Arlene. I'm almost done here. All right. This time, instead of drying the water on there, I'm going to take a paper towel and lift up that water. Okay. Just to give a different look. There we go. Love it. Okay. I think I'm going to leave it because I'm liking it and I don't want to mess it up anymore. So there's my 80%. It's not perfect. It's not exactly like this one. Well, you know what? Kind of. I think it's pretty good. But okay, so let me lift it up so you guys can see all of that goodness. And I probably will add a couple more layers of water. And then that's when you get all of that really, I say yummy, but it's kind of weird that I say yummy, but it's just gorgeousness. All of this and all of this, the depth in that background, it's crazy. Okay. Now I have, look at all that. How do you seal this so it won't be reactive? Okay, so I usually will use Distress Microglaze. Um, but I want to say that with, you know what? Let me see if I can find one that's dry. Um, oh, you know what? I'll use this one. Okay, but first I need to clean up just so that I don't get contaminated. I love all that color though. I want it. I'm gonna see what I can get. I need to spritz some water on here. I think it's just gonna end up being a really muddy mess. But it's still fun. I can use it for die cutting, right? All right. There's one. Yeah, I don't know if I'll use these, but all right, I'm gonna just now clean this up, okay? And then I'll show you. I can't remember if the sealing with the on top of the oxide, if it takes away, like if it changes. And it just cleans up with water. Okay, the glass mat is amazing for that. Where's my paper towels? There they are. squeaky clean it is on right here. All right, so I'm gonna take this background, okay, and I call this stuff magic in a bottle because if you have a background and you're wanting to seal it, so the Distress Microglaze, it seals it, but it also does something else. It kind of like helps, how do I say this? Like if you've ever seen resin put on top of an alcohol ink background, then you kind of know it just helps bring all of that depth kind of more to life if that makes sense. So we're just gonna add that. And so what I do is this is dirty and that's fine, but I just add it to the bottle and then I kind of scrape. This is a dome blending tool and then I just kind of scrape it off. And this does have that mica on there. Yeah, so the oxide is fine. You can use a spray adhesive. I think that's a little too much, but you know, you got to use what you want and what works for you. So like in the scent, like right here, I don't know. It just, you have to kind of see it in person to know. Like, I don't know how to explain it. It just, yes, it enhances. There you go. Thanks, Patty, for the word. Um, my brain, I don't know if it's age, if it's, I know with rheumatoid arthritis, your brain kind of just get foggy brain a lot. And I'll tell you that the last several months, it's been very foggy. So that's why I have so many, and it's been like that no matter what, but I have so many notes here because I always forget things and then I'm like, "Oh man." And then I'm like regretting because but I'm like, "You know what? I'm just going to read off notes because I don't want to forget anything." All right. Let's see. I think that's it. Oh no, I had one more thing, okay? Just real quick because I got these and I get asked all the time, "Do you have the metallics?" And I never did. Okay, but I got them. So we're going to try them out. I'm going to set this aside. Okay, I'm going to grab a new um what is this called? See, there's my brain again. Cooling rack, and we're going to try them out. I have no idea what they are, to be honest. I kind of did a quick Google, took a few notes, but that's about it. All right, so we're going to start with, I'm going to pin my notes up here. Let's see. Right here, so I have them. Okay. All right. So these are pigment based, and they're made to look like real metal. Interesting. Okay. Words are hard. Yes, and my brain glitches often. So let's see. Actually. Okay. Kind of reminds me of a mica. Doesn't move that much. Oh, there we go. All right, I'm going to dry this and see what it looks like. All right, it says they're more opaque than regular spray stains, and they sit on top of the paper, so it's kind of like a mica stain. They dry to a matte metallic finish. Ooh. They're heavier. They have a lot of pigment in them, so you got to shake them up. And they don't move as much with water. Okay. How have I not had these? I actually really like that for certain things, right? Like if you want just a subtle, I thought they were going to be like in your face. I hate when I find something that I like and I took so long to get it. So, all right, so this one is tarnished brass. Then let's go with, I don't really see a lot of people using these, to be honest. I don't know. I think they might be, we'll see if they're going to be, yeah, there is a lot of stuff on the bottom there. Ooh, on Yuko, maybe. Okay, I'm done shaking that. We're gonna add this one here. It comes out in like a stream. I don't necessarily like that. So what color was this? Antiqued bronze. Ooh, I like that. Wonder how they work with other sprays because it looks like it's kind of the antique bronze is like, or what was that? The tarnished brass like repelled the bronze. Like, get out of here. That was crazy. Okay. We're going to try the brushed pewter, and then I'm just going to do real quick putting them together with a spray stain just to see. I'm guessing they look amazing on black cardstock, which I took out. Oh my goodness. Okay, I'm done. Yeah, no. I think my favorite is probably that tarnished brass for sure. Ooh, this was actually really pretty too. All right, I want to see if they react with water. Somebody can make a, well, I don't want to give anybody ideas. I was gonna say someone could make a really funny compilation of me just looking for the things. I think it just picked up what was still wet. So let's see. You have to move it. So it is water reactive, but you have to move it and then that metallicness goes away. Interesting. Okay. I'm just gonna flip this over and I'm gonna take evergreen bough and then the tarnished brass. Ooh, that kind of, it does repel it. What in the world? No, it mixes. This stuff is interesting, to say the least. I'll have to play around more with this. Oops, interesting. Interesting. Okay. Um Where did that black cardstock go? Oh, there it is. I just want to try it on there real quick. Whew. That is everywhere now. It's just a stream. Oh my goodness. Okay, so now you could really see how much it actually moves, and it doesn't really move that much. Kind of just sits there. Tina's asking, what mica are you using? It drowns out. Mic are you using? It drowns out the noise. Oh, this one is a Sure. I don't know. It just says Sure. Just it says Sure on it. I don't know. I know there's a bunch of numbers, but yeah, it's a Shure microphone. All right, so that was interesting. I'm glad that I tried those out live for the first time, trying the whatever these are called, the metallics. They'll probably collect more dust than anything. Ooh, an air blower. My husband got it for me. To me, okay, so if you use your phone, on I'm not even joking, okay? On TikTok Shop they have, or even on Amazon, they have really cheap plug-in um microphones for like 15, 20 bucks. They work amazing. I don't know what you use for filming or anything like that, but they're pretty amazing. I always forget to use them. And I just use my AirPods, but yeah. All right. I'm done. I'm calling it a night. Oh, it's an hour and a half ish of fun. All right. I want to thank you all for joining. I hope that this was inspiring. I hope you learned something. I hope that you downloaded the PDF and signed up for the free class. I can't remember what day. I want to say Sunday is my day, but I don't quote me on that. Um, and these are the cards. So I double the cards with using one background. So we create one background and you'll get a real good idea and look at how many layers go into creating one background. For me, everybody's different, but that's how I do it. And then like in I think almost real time. I think I speed up let me go back to both cameras. I think I speed up the drying process a little bit, but almost real time. You'll see how many layers it takes to get the look of my backgrounds. All right. And then we'll take the one background, cut it in half, and create two beautiful cards. Okay. And the link for that is down in the description box as well. Yes, February class is going to be Mixed Media Foundations 2. Okay. I knew I wanted to do a few Mixed Media Foundations class because I think that figuring out processes that you can replicate over and over and over again is going to be the key for you to create with confidence every single time. Awesome. I enjoyed Saturday's class too. I still have a bin of backgrounds that I wanted to get through. Well, not through, but that I pulled in the initial like, oh, these are inspiring me kind of thing. So, yeah, anyways. All right. Download the PDF in the description. Sign up for the free class. Um, it's in the description as well. And I want to thank you all for watching. And if you're watching on the replay and made it this far, thank you, thank you. And I will catch you all later. Bye.